Hey guys, Robert with the Piston Slap channel, and today's how-to video is going to be kind of, I don't know, it's basically I had a subscriber or one of you guys out there asked me about removing this front fender off the bike, and the question was if it could be removed without taking the front wheel off. And I don't see why it couldn't, because you basically have two Allens on either side of each fork leg and then just some brake lines. So today's how-to video will be like how to remove this. So it may be really short and simple, but for those of you guys that want it, here it is. My bike originally had like a reflector up at the second Allen, and I don't know if it's going to be easy to see. But right here, you see the shiny one and then the dark one. The bike comes from the factory with reflectors there, so I went ahead and removed the reflectors and got bolts that kind of looked the same and put them in that spot. I'm doing the same with the two Allens, the Allen screws on the left side of the bike as well. You're going to want to remove the brake line from the fender, so that's just as easy as it's on like a clip where you just kind of pull it forward and wiggle and it pulls out and away. So I'm going to hold you guys here. I don't know how close this is, but you got one up here and then you also have one in the back as well. So we're going to remove all this away from there. This little one right here is your wheel speed sensor. So I believe that'll be on ABS and non-ABS 636s. You can see now all the brake lines are out of their holders and just kind of floating back there. Go ahead and remove the Allens. And I wouldn't imagine you would need a stand to remove any of this stuff. Mine's just been on the stand all winter, unfortunately. I've got lots of work to do on it. I've been trips to Arizona, trips to California, I've been riding the DRZ, doing adventure rides with that thing, so leaving this poor girl sitting on the stand in the garage. So the moment of truth, guys. All four of the screws are out. Can it be removed with the tire? Oh, I see. Let's go. So to answer that question, the answer would be no. You cannot remove your front fender without taking the tire off. You can see this like front fender bracket. So those are kind of hard to get over. And then the brackets on the back that hold and retain the brake lines, they're riveted to the fender, and there's not enough room between the fork legs to get the fender out. So to remove this, what you would need to do is remove your front tire. So we'll go ahead and break these loose and take the axle out. Alright, so the next step, hopefully it's in the field of view of the camera, is to remove the two 6mm, I believe they're 6mm basically pinch bolts. You don't really have to remove them, just loosen them. And then, those loose, we want to loosen the brake bolts. The bolts for your brake calipers will be a 12mm socket. And you will need to repeat the same procedure on the left side of the bike as well. So to remove the brake caliper, there are stands and shoulders. We basically just walk it straight back and then just out from the bike. And you'll see two shoulders on one of the stands, and it'll also correspond with the actual brake caliper, so that way it mounts nice and flush and square. While you got the brake caliper off would be a good time to check your brake pad wear, and if you're needing brake pads, now would be a really good time to replace those. So I'm just going to let my caliper hang. The next step would be to loosen the axle nut or axle bolt. Alright, there is a tool for this that you could purchase. I have not. I just basically went to a hardware store and got a bolt that basically fits, or nut. Bought two nuts and the bolt corresponding to them, locked them together, and then just took a welder and very gracefully welded the nut to the bolt and then locked the other one to it, so that way they can't turn. And you just stick it in there. And just break this loose, maybe. I'm just working with what I got, guys, so I have the right tools at work, just not here. Like so. Alright, so you see the axle just unscrews. Now I'm holding the front wheel up with my right hand, pulled the axle out. And make sure my brakes and everything are clear. And pull the front tire out. There you go. So the front tire is out. Let's put the front tire somewhere safe. And proceed to remove the front fender. It's such a pain in the butt. So just turn sideways like that, and there you guys go. The front fender is now off the bike. And you can see the clips. They're riveted to the front fender, so you can't just unscrew them. There's not enough room to pull them through the shock or the fork legs. So there you go. I'll go ahead and throw the torque specs up to put it back together, guys. Obviously, if you got it apart, you should be able to put it back together. It's in reverse procedure, starting with putting the wheel back in. This is going to be kind of important, as you would put the axle bolt in and torque it down, and I'll put the torque spec up in the video. After this is torqued, then you would tighten your pinch bolts. Once your pinch bolts are tight, then you can put your brake calipers on and tighten those bolts. I'll put the spec in for those. Obviously, you'd want to make sure your front fender is back on before you do that, unless you're just planning to run without the fender. So that's what you guys got. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe any questions on any more how-to videos, I am going to be doing the suspension, but I don't know if I'm going to upload it because I'm not really sure. It's my first time, so I don't want to steer you guys in the wrong direction. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up, comment. I usually get right back to you guys on the comments. Follow me on Facebook for live feeds and whatever else might be going on that I'm doing. And I'll catch you guys next week.